Just fine. I really was going to leave a lovely review, but now, to be honest,
Sheets are destroyed.
no, they're not.
No, wait, sorry.
I think you're making stuff up.
So that will come off.
Yeah, it will come off. Like you
Okay,
said,
I'll let you know if it doesn't.
Could I just take a picture of the moringa powder that's in
Yeah,
over
and do
there?
you want to take this as well?
Yeah.
I don't know what that is, but yeah, I'll take that as well.
But I don't know either.
No, don't meter out her energy. Just leave her. All right, that's moringa powder.
Before we leave, because this has not been a problem. You can check.
You don't think stains on sheets are a problem?
Jenny?
I think they happen. If I was in a hotel and the sheet was stained.
But you're not in a hotel.
No,
right,
You're in a family
but
home.
you wrote every other rule in that thing.
But you're not in a hotel.
Can I actually say what I'm saying? You left every rule on that sheet over there, but
Yeah.
you said nothing about if there's a tiny little
Oh my
stain
God, that's
on
not
the sheet.
tiny.
If
That's
there's
not tiny, and that's not tiny.
If there's a stain on the sheet, let me know.
Okay.
You didn't put that there. I'm just saying that what you don't communicate can
No,
easily
Airbnb works in a family
miscommunicated.
home where
Right.
basically you treat it like your own family home.
Which I did, yes.
So if somebody came into your home and stained your sheets,
I
you'd
would
want
wash
to
it.
know.
I work really hard, so I would actually wash it.
Me
It depends
too.
on what the stain is.
Okay.
If it was an ink stain, I understand if it was an ink stain, then I would obviously have a problem. But at the same time, I think my approach would be completely different.
Okay, thank
Yeah.
you. Are you a host on Airbnb?
No, I'm not, but you asked me a question that I'm answering.
Yeah, sure.
No, Jenny, can I just ask,
This is
have
weird.
guests not made messes?
I know.
No,
like-
not this. No, I'm over 2 years doing Airbnb
But then why
and
didn't you say
never
anything
stained.
yesterday? Why didn't you say anything yesterday? when
Because
you
I
were in the
wouldn't.
room?
Because I don't inspect. I literally just swap the cups. I don't inspect to make sure there's no
Okay.
stains on sheets.
'Cause-
And I've never had stains on sheets.
We're really not trying to be difficult. It's
Well,
not.
you clearly seem to be. So
So anyway, I'm going to record this because I just had a very diabolical experience at this Airbnb. So we're about to leave. We clean everything. I'm hearing from my sister right now that this woman was basically creeping down the stairs while we were packing. Like I don't think that's necessarily an issue. She probably just wants to know what time we're going to leave. And so we leave the premises. I'm just going to step aside here because I don't want you to hear the overlap of complaint. We leave the premises. She clearly comes downstairs, I suppose, as we were on our way out, and then opens the front door and then says, "Oh, what is the stain over here?" And so I'm like, "Oh, what stain?" So I come towards her, and then she asked me, "What is this?" And I told her, "Oh, it's my vitamins. The vitamins from the packet that I keep them in spilt over and then got on the sheet, right?" And so I'm explaining to her as if, because I'm thinking we're having an ordinary conversation, an ordinary back and forth. So I tell her, "No, that's moringa powder that came out of my bag." And so that was that. I'm thinking once I explain it, then she'll understand, as if she's, because I'm thinking she's genuinely asking me a question. So then she starts to make an issue, and she's like, this is where I was just dumbfounded. I was just really stuck with this because she was really making it a bigger issue than it was. And then she's like, "It better come out. It better come out." And I'm like, "It will come out." I froze for a second. I'm like, "It will come out." It's moringa powder, thinking that she might know what I'm talking about. And then that was that. I leave the room, and she's like, "Oh, better." And I'm like, "No, it will." And she's like, "Okay." She looks at me and she's like, "Okay. You tell me what that expression is." Because that's when I was thrown off. So when she says, "Okay," I'm like, I just freeze up and I'm like, "Okay." And then I walk away and like, that was weird. When I state that was weird, then she feels the need to come and state on top of that, "Oh yeah, that was weird." And I'm like, "Yeah, it was weird." And then I continue to walk outside because I'm not about to fight somebody in their own house. I'm just dumbfounded because I'm about ready to leave and get some coffee this morning. I'm really not keen on sticking around. So then we leave. She closes the door. She comes back out. And when she came back out the second time with the pillow, that's when I'm like, okay, I gotta record this. Because when I left that into action, I said to my sisters, I wish you actually recorded that, because that was diabolical. I was not prepared for any diabolical experience. Prior to that, I really thought, what a nice stay. What a great Airbnb. Everything was so intentional. Everything was well thought out. That was literally the review I was going to leave. I was so impressed with the way everything was done and how thoughtful it seems to be. So you can imagine when I'm having this into action on the actual final second that I'm about to leave, what a shocker it is, because all of these things could have been stated on the Airbnb platform if she had an issue with washing linen in the first place. So anyway, the second time she comes out, that's the point at which I started recording. And I won't relay this part because you can just hear the conversation yourself. She was just saying, she comes and picks out another stain, like, what is this? And it looks like mascara. I don't know what that stain is. She could have possibly put it there for all I know. I knew about the moringa stain, which, by the way, I told her yesterday. Yeah, she was actually blaming me for it. She's like, oh, you thought I wouldn't find out about it? I'm like, no, I'm sure you'd find out about it when you wash your linen. So I guess she wasn't expecting to wash her linen at all, because she tried to make this a huge deal, saying it better come out. I'm like, well, yes, if you wash your linen, it will come out. So now I'm gauging that she's expecting other guests to use the exact same unwashed linen that we slept in. She doesn't expect to wash it at all. Anyways, that's what's going through my mind. So then she goes in this back and forth. She asks me, oh, what would you do if somebody stained your covers? You host an Airbnb, someone came into your home and stained your covers. And I said that I honestly would wash them. I didn't think it was a big deal. And you'll hear this into action, and you'll hear my reasoning, because it wasn't even like a massive stain. I asked her to come back to the house so I can record, take a photo of what this stain was. And you'll see that it's moringa powder that was washed away. So then she's like, oh, you thought you'd hide it? And it's like, well, obviously you're going to see it. I'm not trying to hide it from you. When I turn the covers around, it's because I want to come back into my room without seeing a stain on the cover. I didn't think I needed to inconvenience you to go and change the cover today just because I stained it today. It's like, that's insane to me. And so I was like, she was really invested in misunderstanding things. And I could tell later on that she was not arguing anything to do with the covers. It was not about that. She was arguing something deeper, but she really wanted to fight us on something, whatever it was. So at that point I was already livid. But I'm like, I'm not going to like raise my voice or anything in her home. But the moment I get outside, I'm complaining to my sisters. Then her kids come out to defend her. And I'm sorry to say, but I was just saying, well, unfortunately, guys, you cannot come and defend your mother and tell me, you can't try to convince me that she's actually not a racist. Because she would not treat, and I said this to her face, that she would not treat other guests the way you're treating us. And then she obviously wants to defend that, and I'm like, for me, when I say somebody is racist, I don't feel like that is the absolute worst thing you can be, but I can tell you what is worse is when you don't want to do anything about it and you want to keep it just that way. And I knew that it was beyond a racist thing. Something in my gut was telling us this woman knows us in the grapevine somewhere, because what she was arguing us on was not the covers. But I'll let you be the judge of that yourself, because I'm going to post that online over here. Also have to make a complaint to Airbnb. And I'd also like to know your guys' opinions on how this situation should have been handled, and what you would have done. Because to be quite honest with you, I was really just taken aback. I don't know how to react. All I could do was continue trying to reason with her and explain, this is what this is. It can easily be removed. And I thought that was that. But she came to fetch us yet again to I don't know, I feel like maybe she was trying to leave us with some negative energy so we can go out here screaming and whatnot. And even if that's the case, I mean, I'm a human being. Of course I'm going to be upset when people do this. And when I don't expect it. When I expect such things, I guess it's like something I can handle much better, but that was so unexpected. By the way, when I had a video call the first day I was there. So we checked in. I quickly had to get online to join this call. The entire time, the Wi-Fi was working absolutely fine. And only when I was in the call, then my Wi-Fi kept trying to disconnect and reconnect me all over again just to make me look bad. Now, whatever you believe, I was already like, this must be some kind of mentalism, because the Wi-Fi was fine just before that. I prepared an hour before we arrived. I ate something, but first I set up so that I know that everything is in working order. So once I'd done that, only then there was a disruption, and then I knew that I might have to watch my back. Now, it's just a gut feeling. It's just something based on experiences. One thing I was happy about was, as I was packing and leaving this place, I was happy to leave a very nice review, because I felt like she put so much thought into her booking. The last thing I expected was for her to just come and attack us out of nowhere off the bat. But I'll let you guys be the judge of that, because I'm going to plug this in. Maybe it's enough talking from my side right now. I'm going to put it in here. I'm going to try and calm myself down, get past this, because that was some Jezebel crap.
No, we don't. You can throw that away. You can throw it away, Jenny. Just do what you think you need to do.
No.
Do you want to check the place before we leave? Because this has not been a problem. You can check and let us know.
Stains on sheets are a problem?
Jenny, can I just ask?
If I was in a hotel and the sheet was stained.
But you're not in a hotel.
No, right.
You're in a family home.
You wrote every other rule.
But you're not in a hotel.
Can I actually say what I'm saying? You left every rule on that sheet over there.
Yeah.
But you said nothing about if there's a tiny little stain.
That's
on
not
the sheet.
tiny. That's not tiny, and that's not
If
tiny.
there's a stain on the sheet, let me know.
Okay.
You didn't put that there. I'm just saying that what you don't communicate can
No,
easily
Airbnb works in a family
miscommunicated.
home
Well,
where
we
basically
understand
you
how
treat
Airbnb
it like your
works.
own family home.
Which I did, yeah.
So if somebody came into your home and stained your sheets,
I
you'd
would
want
wash
to
it.
know.
I work really hard.
But Jenny,
I
we
would
don't
actually
know it's a
wash it.
stain.
It depends
It's
on
a
what the
herb.
stain is.
Okay.
If it was wine,
If it was
it's
an
something
ink stain,
different.
I understand if it was an ink stain, then I would obviously have a problem, but at the same time, I think my approach would be completely different.
Okay, thank you. Are you a host on Airbnb?
No, I'm not, but you asked me a question that I'm answering.
Yeah, sure. No, Jenny, can I just ask, have stuff made messes?
No, not this. No, I'm over 2 years doing
But then
Airbnb.
why
I've
didn't you say
never
anything
stained.
yesterday?
Yeah.
Why did you say anything yesterday?
Because I don't inspect. I literally just swap the cups. I don't inspect to make sure there's no stains on sheets. I've never had stains on sheets.
Really not trying to be difficult.
It's not a
Well, you clearly seem to be, so
Okay,
you
I'm
wouldn't
gonna
mind
go. It's
leaving.
important to argue about it.
No,
Yeah, just go.
It's just the approach. If it was a stain,
that's disgusting.
The approach. I just asked what it was.
It is a stain, though. To be
I
fair.
bet you wouldn't treat other guests like this.
I
I will bet
absolutely
you
would.
100%.
Well, I bet you as well. No one would leave stains like
No,
that.
no, I don't believe
okay,
that that's
so
true.
so
I've
what?
cleaned Airbnb houses.
What
before.
card
I've
are
actually
you trying to
worked
use?
in an Airbnb before,
Do you
cleaning
mind
rooms.
stepping out?
Yeah, please step out.
Nelly, get
No,
out.
do you mind stepping out?
It's okay.
Get out of the house.
Just let us
I
know.
really would have left a nice review. She's disgusting.
Yeah.
She's absolutely disgusting.
What
And
is
racist.
that about?